Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Secretary of Shade. We had tornadoes last week during our regularly scheduled time. It was crazy, but we're here. In a way, I'm kind of glad that it worked out that way because we got a lot to discuss. I do want you all to make sure, if you're not subscribed, to go ahead and subscribe to the channel at youtube.com/Secretary of Shade. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Also, make sure you're following me online at Dapper Dan Midas and our sponsor, Care for Equity. Hi, everybody. I see that you're here. It's a lot going on in the world, as usual. I went out of the country, came back, and everything went to chaos. So, first order of business, in case you've been under a rug, Hunter Biden on trial for basically lying on a form or not filling out a form correctly as a gun owner. Found guilty. Guilty. Okay. Now, it's giving very much of you had it coming. It's giving you continue to be a thorn in your father's side. It's giving what the hell is wrong with you? You're a grown-ass man with children and a wife. It's giving Hunter Biden, I don't feel bad for you. And here's the thing. You are the current president's son. So everything that you do is going to be under scrutiny. Dingbat. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. So, he was found guilty. Let's take a look, and this is coming from Politico. So, Hunter Biden, 54 years old, is the first child of a sitting U.S. president ever to be convicted in a criminal trial. The president said last week that he would not pardon his son. Okay? Now, here's the gagger. That's nasty work, Joe Biden. Nasty work. Like, I'm not going to lie. Unless I killed somebody, I would feel a way if my father didn't pardon me. Bitch, you the fucking president. Leader of the free world. Because here's the thing. And this is another thing that kind of gags me a little bit. Is, and I'm just keeping it real. I know people are going to be like, ooh, you're being partial. If this was Donald Trump sitting in this position that Joe Biden is in right now, and Don Jr. or Melania or Barron or however many kids he got was in Hunter Biden's position, oh, the pardons on the desk today. Matter of fact, as soon as the verdict came out, the pardon would have been signed that night. But once again, this is what happens when you play the hero, the good guy. And I'm not mad at Joe Biden for saying, hey, you did some fucked up shit. I'm not pardoning you for this. I'm not using my office because that sets a terrible example and precedent for the rest of the country. And it does. So I think that Joe Biden is doing the right thing, okay, in this case. Now, some people in the comments are saying, Hunter was on drugs and things like that. I'm going to be quite frank with you. As a person who's from Baltimore City, I done seen plenty of drug addicts go to jail for things that were really out of their control with a tenth of the resources, a fraction of the opportunity, and nobody there to assist them. I don't feel bad for Hunter Biden. I hope that he gets the help that he needs, but he's gotten more help, and he's in a far better position than the average addict that's walking around the street right now. So it is a difference. Okay? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. All right? Now, the jury of 6 men and 6 women issued its unanimous verdict after 3 hours of deliberation. Biden remained perfectly still as a court clerk read the verdict aloud. Before leaving the courtroom, he hugged his lawyers, kissed his wife, Melissa, and walked out with First Lady Joe Biden. Now, he's facing a maximum prison sentence of 25 years, but is much more likely to receive 2 years or less, or even no prison time at all, because he is a first-time offender, and the crimes involved only a single gun that was never used violently. Judge Mary Ellen Noreika, who oversaw the trial, will determine the sentence. She says she expects to conduct sentencing within the next 4 months. Now, here's where I can't feel that bad for him. Okay? And I'm just keeping it about. He's also facing federal criminal charges for allegedly failing to pay more than $1.4 million in taxes on time. Okay? A trial in that case is scheduled to begin in September. Now, here's my thing. The gun-related charges, in case you've been under a rock, spawned from he purchased a Colt revolver. First of all, who the hell is buying a damn Colt revolver? You got all these shiny ass glizzies out here. You got the nice SIG with the, chrome side slides. You got Marsburg. You got all this shit. You buying a goddamn Colt. Rich people problems. Because the average person is not buying no damn Colt pistol. They buying some shit that's going to go to work. You going to jail over a damn collector's pistol, bitch. Lying on the phone. Okay? So, he going to purchases over a Colt revolver at a Wilmington gun shop in October 2018. At the time, prosecutors said Biden was in the throes of addiction to crack cocaine. Prosecutors alleged that he signed paperwork at the time of the purchase, falsely claiming he did not use illegal drugs. It is illegal for drug users to possess guns, and it is illegal to lie on gun purchasing forms. Prosecutors said Biden possessed the gun for 11 days before his brother's widow, Holly Biden, found it and threw it in a trash can outside a high-end grocery store. A man who scavenges through trash cans for recyclables then found the gun and later provided it to police. Bitch, this is some television shit right here. What is the likelihood? Okay, so let's picture the scene. Your mama's on crack rock. Not my mama. Your mama's on crack rock. Okay, so Hunter Biden's doing crack. He say, bitch, I'ma buy a collectible gun. Okay? I'ma buy a collectible gun. But I gotta sign a form. So, I'ma go to the gun shop. On the form, it asks me if I use drugs. I'ma lie and say no. I don't use drugs. Then my homegirl, his brother's widow, Holly Biden. So his brother is dead. So his brother's wife, his sister-in-law, finds the gun and throws it in a trash can outside. I love how they put in there high-end grocery store, because it wasn't just Safeway, bitch. It wasn't Kroger. It wasn't, Publix, bitch. It wasn't Giant. It was a high-end grocery store. She throws it in the trash can outside. And just his luck, a homeless person finds the gun, and the homeless person said, "Oh, gosh, I found a gun in the trash can. Whew, maybe I should take this to the authorities." Now, first of all, bitch, this is giving setup. This is giving somebody's watching me, because at the time, your daddy wasn't the president. So it's giving, and this is me speculating here. These are my speculations. Somebody was watching him. Yep. It was given, bitch, we got eyes on you. Because I'm just trying to think, who, like, what is the, like, looking at these series of events here, like, what is the likelihood of all of this happening perfectly? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And it's giving you was being watched. But the thing is, here's why I don't feel bad for him. Because you're not even smart enough to say, bitch, my dad is former vice president. He might be, because this is in 2018 now, he might be running for president again for 2020. Let me keep it cute. Not only are you using drugs, which I don't shame you for that, because drug addiction is terrible. I've seen that too many times firsthand. And once you get on that stuff, it's hard to get off. So I do have sympathy for addicts. I have a special place in my heart for addicts. But then, you ain't even paying your taxes. Like, first of all, you gotta be making a lot of money to owe $1.4 million in taxes, bitch. Like, you owe in taxes what people win in the lottery. So that's telling me all I know about how much money you got coming in. Now, I don't feel bad for Hunter Biden. I do feel bad for his daddy, though. And shout out to Aaron in the chat, because that is his only surviving son. And with everything that's going on, you're dealing with a nutcase as your opponent in this presidential race. You're trying to run a country. You're trying to watch your stutters. You got Russia breathing down your neck. And the last thing you need is for your son to get locked the fuck up for lying on a gun application. Now, do I think Hunter Biden should serve 25 years for this shit? Hell fucking no. No. I don't. Is he probably going to get a slap on the wrist? Yes. The judges already kind of alluded to that. But it's just something that it's just not needed right now. And even though Hunter Biden is the one who was convicted, not his dad, we all know how this looks. So now, to a lot of people in this country, it's given, we even now, scoreboard 0-0. A couple weeks ago, Trump locked up, convicted, 34 felony accounts. It's like, ha, bitch, gotcha. A couple weeks later, it's giving Hunter Biden, your ass is getting locked up for lying on a gun application. Ha, gotcha. Now, a gun application and 34 felony accounts is two different stories, bitch. Okay? That's two different houses. That's a mansion and a goddamn apartment. It's not the same. Okay? But we're going to see how this pans out. He's still got to face this trial in Los Angeles in September for the taxes. So he just got a lot going on. Like Hunter Biden, you doing too much. Now, as far as his daddy is concerned, okay, daddy trying to do damage control. Okay. So Biden signed an executive order for the border. Okay. Took him long enough to do it. While I do think that people should be able to come to this country, if they're facing hardships in their own, do it legally. That's all. I say this every other meeting. My black ass can't just walk over to the UK and say, hey girl, it's going down over here. Okay? I got to go through a process. And that, no shade, after being in Italy and Switzerland for about a week and seeing how African people, not black people, but African people are treated in Italy, how they're regarded, bitch, I know that to be a fact now. That's not a speculation. Okay? So, Biden issued an executive order, which is, from what they say, widely viewed as the most aggressive immigration crackdown by a Democratic president in modern history. While Biden has been criticized by some for giving himself the power to shut down the border, the reality of what the order does is more complicated, okay? And this is coming from, the breakdown is coming from Yahoo News, okay? So if you're crossing the border legally, you won't be impacted by this, okay? The order is limited to people who are seeking asylum in the United States under both U.S. and international asylum laws. So any migrant claiming to face persecution in their home country has a legal right to seek protection. In recent years, asylum requests have overwhelmed the system that processes claims in the United States. As a result, immigration officials have been forced to release asylum seekers into the U.S. while they await a court hearing under Biden's new order. Migrants who enter the country will not be given the opportunity to apply for asylum when the number of border crossings exceed 2,500 per day, which is lower than the peak of 8,000 crossings in 2023. Okay? It doesn't apply to unaccompanied minors, and it allows immigration officers to make exceptions for people who face extraordinary risk if deported. Okay? While some Democrats are questioning whether the action is constitutional, Republicans have criticized it for being too little too late. So basically, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Now, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be very real. This is needed. And the reality is this. For a lot of liberals, and I'm a liberal, right? But I also believe in calling a spade because I feel like we're in a place where we're all playing on teams and we can't call our own teams out on shit. And that's not how progress happens, right? At some point, we got to meet in the middle. And the reality is this. When the South, and we got to keep it a buck. We keep it a buck here on Secretary of State. The South was complaining about these border issues in Texas and in these southern border countries. The government low-key paid it. And that's just a fact. They paid it. When these migrants started getting sent to New York, Boston, D.C., all of a sudden it became, bitch, we got to do something about this border, bitch. Now, either I'm lying or I'm flying. But you got to do something, okay? As a person who who gets taxed to hell. That's another thing too in this country. We get taxed to hell. Our food quality is terrible. Our quality of life in America, we are trained that we gotta damn near kill ourselves and work 23 hours a day to be deemed successful or proficient. And that's not how it is everywhere in the world, right? But the Republicans are now saying, hey, bitch, you should have been did this shit. You just joined it because it's an election year. And that may be true. But what they failed to mention is that there was a bipartisan border bill that was backed by both Republicans and Democrats that a lot of Republicans on that committee really liked. That out of political gain, the Republican Party blocked. So Biden took it upon himself to do this executive order. There was a deal on the table, which shows me that people really don't want to do business. They really don't want to run the country. I feel like some people are in government right now purely to disrupt. And that's just the facts. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Disruptive. She's not serious. I can't believe that people voted for her. Like, even if you're the most right-wing, racist, whatever you want to call, like, have a smart racist, a smart far-left extremist. You pick a damn dummy. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, smart far-right extremist, smart homophobic, smart racist. That makes sense. Bitch, that tracks. But y'all voted in a dumb far-right extremist, a dumb racist. You voted in the 6 Bs. I'm confused. It is what it is. And in the chat, they're absolutely right. Executive orders can be overturned. Okay? Now, here's my thing. I want to be very clear. Having a policy to have people legally into this country and go through a process is not saying that all immigrants or migrants are bad people. That's not the same thing. Okay? But there is a process. That is the difference. What happens is, and the Republican Party and Trump is primarily responsible for this, is in a quest for sensationalism and fear-mongering, they package sound border policy and classifying a whole group of people, stereotyping a whole group of people in the same package. So your message about a safe and orderly border and border policy gets lost because you're stereotyping a whole group and race of people. I don't understand how people can't. I don't understand, like, why we can't do that. I don't understand why we can't do two things. Am I being unreasonable, y'all? Is that unreasonable? Sound off in the chat. I don't know. Now, Biden issued his executive order, right? But then Supreme Court fucked up. They in crisis. Okay? Now, we already know, based on appointments during the Trump era, that the Supreme Court now is largely conservative. And it's going to be that way probably for the next 50 years or so. So we're going to continue to see certain things happen. Okay? So, Supreme Court. We got Judge Alito and Clarence Thomas. Now, Judge Alito is mad because he got caught with his pants down. It's giving caught with your pants down. On camera. On audio, rather, bitch. So listen to this. This is another one. Like, honestly, like, between the Hunter Biden shit and then this shit I'm getting ready to read about Alito, this is this is like some movie shit, yo. I swear to God, this is giving True Lies, Air Force Ones. Like, you can't make this shit up. So, Justice Samuel Alito is less than thrilled about all the news coverage on his seemingly compromised ethics. In a secret tape released late Tuesday by Rolling Stone, the conservative justice can be heard arguing that a series of ProPublica pieces from 2023, which detailed lavish gifts Justice Clarence Thomas accepted from a Republican mega donor, was nothing more than a political hit piece. Alito's comments were recorded by advocacy journalist Lauren Windsor during the Supreme Court Historical Society's annual dinner on June 3rd, an opportunity leveraged by many right-wing activists to cozy up to members of the nation's highest judiciary. He says, they don't like our decisions, and they don't like how they anticipate we may decide some cases that are coming up. That's the beginning of the end of it, Alito said, before going a bit conspiratorial regarding one of the nation's most prestigious investigative news outlets. There are groups that are very well funded by ideological groups that have spearheaded these attacks. That's what it is. They look for any little thing they can find and they try to make something out of it. Now here's the thing. And he said some more shit too. But shout out to Lauren Windsor, bitch. This is some movie shit. So here's what the bitch did. Here's what she did. Now, this dinner cost $500 to get in for you to go party with the Supreme Court and cozy up to them and basically get your agendas pushed through, bitch. That's what it is. It's really giving lobbying. But check this out. Sis paid $500. She paid the cost to be the boss. Okay? She paid the cost to be the boss. Paid the $500. Sis went in there as an undercover agent. So this bitch in there posing as a concerned Catholic mother. Conservative. Extremist. So that she can get Alito to talk. And this motherfucker fell for the bait, bitch. So she in there talking all this cash, Handmaid's Tale shit. And he get the yapping. Whole time sis got the fucking wire on. Went to Rolling Stone, let the tapes out. Now he motherfucking gagging. Gagging, bitch. That is some do. Bitch, that's giving in 5 seconds this tape will self-destruct, bitch. That need to be a movie. I'ma need Charlize Theron to play her in the fucking feature. Okay? Now, she did that. The tape comes out. Now, mind you, Alito's wife also show her ass too, bitch. Okay? She out here posting upside down American flags. For those of you who don't know, when you see an upside down American flag flying from somebody's house, that means they supported the insurrection of January 6th, bitch. So watch out for them upside down American flags, bitch. They not your friend. So this motherfucker support January 6th. And he on the Supreme Court, bitch. Supreme. But that's not it. Clarence Thomas. Now, Anita Hill. I'm going to get an Anita Hill shirt made. Like, Anita Hill was right, bitch. Anita Hill needs a fucking check for everything that she went through. Because she tried to tell us. We didn't listen to her. So, Clarence Thomas. Last week, Clarence Thomas effectively admitted to pocketing favors from billionaire real estate developer and Nazi memorabilia collector Harlan Crow by retroactively amending his previous financial disclosures. The gifts included private school tuition for his nephew, the renovation of the home where his mother still lives, and undisclosed trips on the billionaire's yacht and private jet and his private resort. Another ProPublica piece revealed that Alito himself had also accepted undisclosed lavish gifts from Republican billionaires. Clarence Thomas doesn't think he's black. And he didn't say that, but I like, bitch, now, you accepted money from a Nazi memorabilia collector, bitch? Really? Private school tuition. Remodeling the home and shit. Trips. Beyonce tickets. And you mean to tell me that you're going to be able to make sound conscious decisions? No wonder Roe versus Wade got reversed. No wonder Sonia Sotomayor is fucking crying at the end of these decisions in these meetings in the Supreme Court. I get it. This is our Supreme Court. And I don't like to put it out there, but it's how I feel. The Supreme Court is not credible. They're just not. They're not credible. Okay? They're not credible. The credibility of our institution. One thing I will say is this. And whether it was intentional or some of it, I think, is just a byproduct, the Donald Trump presidency pulled the covers off of all of our shit in this country when it comes to the government and its people. It pulled that Trump presidency. Like, I think when we look back, when historians look back on the history of America, the Trump presidency will be one of the most important events in the history of this country and its potential downfall. I honestly believe that. It's crazy. But that's what we doing now, bitch. He giving out trips and shit. Now, finally, before we close out, to end on a high note, well, depending on how you look at it. Caitlin Clark. Now, typically on Secretary of Shade, we stick to politics. You know, we stick to government affairs and, international conflicts. But got to talk about, you can escape the Caitlin Clark effect. Now, Mother Clark didn't make the Olympic team. Now, here's my thing, okay? She just fucking got there. Like, isn't that, like, ain't this like the Grammys or some shit where it's like a eligibility period where you gotta play for a certain amount of time? I'm confused why the people are upset she didn't make the team and she literally just got drafted a couple of months ago. I'm confused. Okay, so the people over at USA Basketball And this is coming from Yahoo Sports. The roster for the 2024 U.S. Olympic women's basketball team was released on Tuesday. And as was expected, Caitlin Clark's name wasn't on it. Reports surfaced Saturday that Clark wouldn't be competing for USA Basketball at the upcoming Paris Olympics. Selection Committee Chair Jen Rosati, who is also president of the Connecticut Sun and head coach of the U.S. women's 3x3 team, commented about Clark being left off the roster, responding specifically to criticism that USA Basketball is missing a chance to market and grow the WNBA by leaving Clark at home. And she quotes, "It would be irresponsible for us to talk about Clark in a way other than how she would impact the team, the play of the team, because it wasn't the purview of our committee to decide how many people would watch or how many people would root for the U.S. It was our purview to create the best team we could for Cheryl Reeve, who is the head coach." Clark, a rookie with no international experience whatsoever, responded like a champ when she was asked about missing the roster, saying she hopes she'll be able to get to the Olympics one day. She knows she'll have more chances in the future and she'll be ready for them when they come along. But ESPN sports personality Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp went off on USA Basketball when they found out Clark wasn't on the roster, complaining that the organization wasn't serious about growing the WNBA if they're leaving off the most popular women's basketball player in the country. But here's the gag. While marketing the WNBA is an admirable goal, as Rosati said, it is in no way the goal of USA Basketball. Their goal is to put together the best team possible so that they can win medals, trophies, and championships around the world. They may use WNBA players, but they are a separate organization from the WNBA. If the different names didn't flag that for Smith and Sharp, 15 seconds of research would have led them to that conclusion. So first of all, bitch, I gagged. So USA Basketball is not even a WNBA. Now, the way that they spin, and see, this is why we read. This is why we got to look at shit, right? Because, you know, the way that it's being sold, you know, on the papers and social media, because, you know, now everybody plays basketball now. Everybody watch every WNBA game. Everybody knows all of the bylaws, all of the rules. They go out to lunch with the referees, bitch. They actually got stock in one of the teams. You know, everybody, they know about the WNBA. But to find out that the Olympics is not even, the USA team is not even associated with the WNBA. They just mine players from the WNBA. So I mean, technically, bitch, if they didn't want to use anybody from the WNBA, they don't have to. Okay? Now, my thing is this. While I'm happy that the Caitlin Clark effect is bringing people to games, it was something like 15,000 at the Capitol Arena. Like, these girls are playing, these ladies rather, are playing in so packed arenas now. The merch is merching. The seats is selling. But in marketing a player, this is still a team sport. This ain't entertainment. She can't leave Destiny's Child and put out a solo basketball album, bitch. You do realize that you need Kelly and Michelle to make this fucking thing work. Okay? That's the first thing. Another thing, what I admire about USA Basketball and the WNBA is they're doing something that the NBA chose not to do when Michael Jordan first hit, is that, and not taking away anything from Jordan, I want to be clear, is that the WNBA is still trying to maintain the integrity of their organization as a sports organization first. So they're still trying to maintain that, whereas the WNBA is a business and entertainment company first. Sports third. But the WNBA is saying, no, we have great players. She has to earn her space. This is how it works. But then you have outside influences, the Shannon Sharps, the Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, oh my God, like he's such a clown. Saying, no, bitch, this is a business. Build your business. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not mad at that. But what we not going to do is dismiss these other women. I understand Caitlyn is filling seats, but the reality is, if Angel Reese never did this, bitch, a lot of you wouldn't care. Because let's talk about it. The reason why this is so sensational, Caitlin Clark is good. I'm not going to take anything from her, but it's a lot of women that's good, and we're seeing that in the WNBA. But we know that race plays a factor on both sides. This Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, babyface heel, if you watch wrestling, dynamic is not only entertainment, but it's also these girls, these women, I keep calling them girls, sorry, have become mascots for a bigger conflict in this country. And the sad part is, it's not their fault. These girls just want to go out here and play ball, make some money, win some championships, and be fab. But what they don't understand, because see, the thing is, people had ignored women's basketball, college women's basketball for years, decades. But they just happened to hit at the right time, in the right place, and they became lightning rods for an issue that don't have nothing to do with them. And that's really sad. I don't blame Caitlin Clark for that. She may have tried it a few times when she was on the college court, but she's a fucking college athlete. Angel Reese doesn't deserve the hate. And the thing that bothers me, I'm going to tell you as a man, I'm really annoyed with these men talking about these women like this and talking to these women in this fashion. Monica McNutt, I'm glad she got Stephen A. Smith ass together. Patrick Mahomes, what the fuck are you talking about? Y'all stay in women's business. Now, I understand it's a sport, but just for me, and I'm a man, right? I'm a gay man, fab. But I was raised, it's certain ways that you address women. It's certain ways that you talk to ladies. Certain shit, keep your mouth out of it. You got to be careful when you screaming on these women on these interviews and shit, because they telling you what it is. Monica McNutt ain't do nothing but tell Stephen A. Smith the truth, because the reality is, what y'all are doing right now, trying to do to the WNBA, y'all not doing nothing but letting the whole world know that the NBA is not a sports organization. It is an entertainment organization. The games have probably been fixed from time to time. And people, that's what you're telling us. That's what I'm getting from it. Now, I could be wrong, y'all. Sound off in the comments. What are these girls supposed to play less than themselves? Is that what's supposed to happen? It's foolish. And now you sit up there, quiet. Wow. Wow is the international response from a man when they done got caught with their hands in a cookie jar. When men get caught cheating, it's wow. When they ain't pay the bill they was supposed to, wow. When the bitch pull up in front of their house with the kid they ain't know they had, it's wow. And that's exactly what he gave. Wow. Shannon Sharp, love you to death, but you messy boots. Former Raven, live for you. You know, I live for the messy, you know, club shays and all of that. I love a good mess. But, sir, really? I'm over it. I'm over it. So that's This Week in America, y'all. If you want to donate to the channel, you can do that. Cash App, Venmo, Dapper Dan Midas. If you want to follow the channel, you can do that. YouTube.com/Secretary of Shade. Hit that bell for notifications. Also follow me online. Social media at Dapper Dan Midas. I'm running late because I got to run to my good folks at Black Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you follow BRP, Black Wrestling Podcast, on YouTube. It's a podcast that I'm a part of. We talk wrestling and hip-hop and pop culture. Make sure you give them a follow. As always, it's great seeing you. Today was a good show, right? I think we did good today. But I'll see you all next week. Happy Pride, Baltimore's Pride Weekend. I'm going to see y'all out in the streets. I will be at the parade walking. So I will see you guys later. You have a good evening. Peace and love.